Hello, my name is Mark, and today I'll be interviewing my friend.
Hello, everybody. My name is Vinicius, and I was born in Brazil. I have quite the experience in the Brazilian trade industry.
So, today we'll be discussing the trade in Brazil and how the imports were, and also how the exports were. So, Vinicius, I know that Brazil is one of the largest exporters of coffee, but how important is it in the Brazilian economy?
Well, actually, coffee is only the sixth most important export in Brazil. Brazil has many other trades, such as sugar and soybeans, making more money on average.
Can you give us a brief history on the coffee trade in Brazil?
Okay, well, coffee first entered in Brazil in 1727 through French Guiana and had spread to northern Brazil to the mountainous southeastern states. The coffee had arrived at these areas because of the temperature.
So, can you elaborate more on the temperature and conditions needed?
Okay, so the beans need certain conditions to grow, like heavy rainfalls and dry environments are the best places where the beans thrive. The best temperature for growing the beans is around 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and when it comes to brewing the beans, the best temperature is around 200 to 205 degrees.
So, how is it cultivated, and where is all this coffee being grown?
Alright, so virtually all coffee in Brazil is processed using a drying process. The entire bean is cleaned up and put in the sun to dry for 8 to 10 days. The outer layer of the bean is then removed before it's out for sale. They are grown on plantations mainly in the southeastern states of Minas Gerais, São Paulo, and Paraná, where the ideal conditions of the beans are met.
So, how much money does the coffee export make?
The coffee export was worth more than $6.8 billion in 2013 and has seen a constant rise over the past years, as coffee had become a lot more popular in this current generation. It's made $20 billion so far this year and will be one of the strongest years Brazil has had so far in terms of exports.
What countries are buying all of this coffee? I would assume it to be America, am I right?
Actually, China is the top one importer from Brazil, as they have spent around $48 billion in total in coffee imports. But you were still pretty close, as America is the second biggest importer of coffee.
So, how many types of coffee beans are being grown in Brazil?
There are two types of coffee beans, which are the Arabica and Robusta.
What are some of their differences?
So, Robusta are stronger, having higher caffeine and more acid. Arabica are higher quality. It's typically sweeter, and Brazil makes 70% of the world's supply. They also have different growing conditions, and the Arabica is more expensive.
Are you experienced in making any coffee?
Of course I am. I make coffee every single morning before I go to school, and I even made a brew before heading over here.
Well, next time you stop by, make sure to bring me a cup. But for the time being, this is the end of our interview. Thanks a lot, Vinicius, for coming on.
No problem, Mark. Anytime. See ya, bros.